everybody. Welcome to another episode of My Car Shop. This is going to be a pretty abbreviated edition today. Just wanted to give you a little update on what's been going on and why I haven't been working on the car for the last week or so. It's also been about a week since I put anything out, and I think the last one was the shop update on probably on the sheet metal brake. I do want to do an update soon about the status of the car on the 47, what needs to be happening, some of the projects that weren't finished from the earlier build and so forth. So we'll do that soon. I want to think that through a little bit to talk about that. I'm also hoping to have some updates on the 26 Oakland soon. I'm still needing to get some parts taken care of at the machine shop and things. Things here are just starting to open back up. So one of the reasons that I haven't done an episode in a while is I had a bit of an injury, and it had nothing to do with working in the shop. I was in the shop when it happened, but I had an argument with a fluorescent light tube that happened to be standing over in the corner. And it's a long story I won't go into, but 2 trips to the ER and some stitches and so forth. And so it's been about a week now since that happened, and so it's really basically prevented me from working. So didn't have anything to do with working on a car or anything like that at all. It was just a freak accident, and those things happen in life. So it could have been a whole lot worse. I'm a guitar player in a band. I'm glad it wasn't this hand, but there was no nerve damage or anything. It was on the back of the finger here, and basically sliced it with like a piece of ham. So not going to go any more to that, but Brad mentioned on one of the other episodes he noticed some DNA on one of the vices, and that's what it was me running from where the accident happened over here to grab a fistful of shop towels and head out and go to the hospital. So one of the things I did want to do today is we had another package coming. Got some more stuff ordered that I'm excited to share with you, and I haven't even opened this box yet, but I was really excited to get this. I've only got a couple more things that I want to get, but this one should be interesting. Hopefully it's what I'm expecting, and it is. So hold it up, see if you can see what it is. Looks weird. What is it? What is it? It's pulling out of the package here. It's made by Key Skull Tools. I'm even leery of opening anything with a razor blade. I told the people at the emergency room I hope I didn't see them again for a long time. First time I've been to the ER in, boy, since the early 2000s, so I can't complain too much. So what is this? Let's look at it close. Maybe you can see the tech. Yeah, there you go. You can see the cross-hatching in it. Looks like a file, doesn't it? It is, but it isn't. So this tool here is what's called a slapping file, and it's used for shrinking metal. So we'll do a demonstration with it at some point. I was doing some stuff out here the other day with sheet metal, but I don't think I have any right here right now. I was playing with the bead roller some. But what you do is you use this on conjunction with a dolly, and you do some hammer off dollying. So let's say you have a low spot in the metal, and you want to move that up, get that because this metal here, when it's low, that metal is stretched and it needs to be pulled back into place. So you want to shrink the metal around it a little bit. So you would hit on the off dolly on the crease and pull that back up, and maybe do some hammer on to try to shrink that material. So that's what this is for. So it's called a slapping file. It's not, I have some other tools I'll show you here in just a second that I've had for a long time. But it has teeth, where a slapping spoon, which is used for making dents or for taking dents out, doesn't have teeth. I haven't had one. I've wanted one for a while, so today I picked that up. So let me go get the slapping spoon, and I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll talk about what that's for. Okay, so I have a slapping spoon here in my hand. I have another one too, but it must be in a different drawer. And that looks like this. It's shaped very similar to the slapping file, but you'll notice the surface is smooth. This one needs to be polished. It got misused somewhere along the line. It's got some marks in it. I'm not sure what it was used for, but there's little dents in there, and that's not good. That'll leave marks in the sheet metal. We need to get rid of that. So you use this the same way. You can do hammer off, hammer on dollying. But the advantage to a slapping spoon is it moves metal slowly, and it doesn't leave like hammerhead dents in the metal. So it's got a little bit of a curvature this way, and a little bit this way. So when you're slapping, and the interesting thing about, as I was thinking about what I wanted to do on this episode today, is just talk a little bit about metal itself and how it works. So I've always been a metal guy. I've never been a wood guy, and it wasn't until a while ago that I finally understood the difference. Maybe that sounds like a stupid statement, but I've always been fairly good with metal and not very good with wood. And my thought on it was, with metal, you can always weld, cut, and still have a piece of metal when you're done. With wood, when you make a mistake, you can glue it, but for the most part, it's not as forgiving, and you basically made kindling. Mark can probably attest to that, right, buddy? So anyway, recently, well, it wasn't just recently, but a while ago, I ran into a guy explaining metal, and it really made a lot of sense to me that metal is a lot like clay. It flows, it moves. So where you can take clay and manipulate it and stretch it and move clay here and it can affect it somewhere else, metal's the same way. Metal is a material that flows. So by hammering certain ways, it's like moving clay, and you can change the consistency of it. You can move it back. If you have the right equipment, you can bend it. If you made a mistake, you can flatten it if you have the right equipment, because it's more of a liquid type of material, and that really makes a lot of sense to me in my years of working with metal. How it's a product that flows, that you can move around. You can bunch it up here, you can thin it out here. And so when you're working with metal, like when you saw me do the roof on the Challenger, that's part of the process there, is moving the metal around on that big piece of sheet metal to where it's stretched out, and create other spots where maybe you need to thin it down or thicken it up or move it around so that you can get those dents out and things like that. So where it's not just a matter of bending, it's a matter of flowing. And I think when you make that transition in metalwork and you start understanding that, it changes the way you view metalwork. You start looking at dents in metal differently, and you start viewing it as more something you're sculpturing than just something you're beating on and trying to force it to be what you want. So there's a couple other things I want to talk about, and then we'll wrap this up. So we'll be right back. Okay, so just a couple other things I wanted to mention. Something else that also happened a week ago or so, around not long after I had done this hand. I broke my phone, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but everything I do is done on my phone here in my car shop. Some of the early stuff when I was working on the Oakland, I was using a video camera, taking it into my sound studio, and editing the videos in there in Adobe Premiere, and it's complicated and takes time. And I realized that with the phone that I have an iPhone 7 Plus, that I can do all of that work right on my phone very simply. It just took me a while to figure that out, which is why, Brad, the music was driving me nuts for a while, because I didn't know how to import other music and create new music tracks in the video and so forth. I've got all that figured out now. And there's still more that this iMovie is capable of. So the videos are done on the iPhone, they're recorded on the iPhone, and then they're compiled in iMovie on my phone. The soundtracks are put in, the icons, everything's done in iMovie. So when I broke my phone, I didn't have any way to do that, and I didn't want to reinvent the wheel and start doing something else. So between the injury and then not having a phone, that was part of the reason. So I just got my phone fixed today. I was using my backup phone, which was a pain in the butt, but anyway, so I got my phone back, and so as soon as I got it today, I thought I want to get an episode out for you guys and to just let you know what's been going on, why things haven't been happening. So again, I want to give some updates on the 47 soon, talk about what the next steps are besides just doing the body work and the grill. I talked to Matt. He's in the middle of a big semi-painting project right now. But when he's done with that, he's going to have a little time. He'll come out and we'll get these fenders sanded and wheeled. I could do it myself, but he does it every day, and there's much less chance of him burning through. So since he's available, I'm not. I'm just letting them sit. And then we're also going to look at the rest of the car. There's a couple spots we need to do some blending, and we're just going to come up with a game plan to finish the paint work on that while I'm finishing the grill and the front bumper. That's as far as I'm going with that. I'm not doing the hood this summer. I want to get some other things done on the 74 Dart. It's still sitting out there because I can't turn a wrench. I got a starter. My son Joe bought a starter for his Charger. I need to get the starter put on that. I can't right now. So I'm just chomping at the bit to get out here, and I've got a lot of other things to do to set this metal shop up. So there'll be a lot coming. I appreciate your patience. But so thanks for joining us on this episode. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you that follow. Make comments, drop them down below, ask questions. Be happy to answer anything you got if I can. Something else I wanted to tell you, and it's gone. So I guess that's... Oh, make sure that if you would, spread the word around if you like the show. Tell other people, subscribe, make sure you get the notifications so you know when the new episodes come out. We haven't had any subscribers for a while, but we're definitely getting some views, so I'm sure in time the search engines are going to take over and we'll get some people attracted here, but word of mouth is always the best. So, hey, thanks for joining us for this episode with the shop update and a personal update, what's been going on, and we'll try to get something out here again for you soon, doing a project with the hands on. So, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it.